not normal because they'll stop you. They're always you're going to be infiltrated, by these type of now let's go back to um okay, here it is here wait. Let's go to this one here. Okay,
Really active, that has a presence and probably doing well.
okay, this is the one where it's Judge Joe Brown versus Dane Calloway, Sister Bethy, um and this is on Bro Sanchez TV. Shout out to Sanchez TV. Now Sanchez TV, he's a very very smart man. He knows he's one of those God people, those God men that came out of the you know the woman that did not he didn't come out of Eve. Okay, so he did not come out of Eve, and you can tell the difference between. That's what I'm trying to show you, like the difference between the men that are here on the earth. There are lizard men, black lizard men that you just seen. He looked like a perfectly normal. He's a reporter guy. I just showed you, and you can see this the tongue, the lizard come out his mouth because he worked. He would normally always they always work for the system. These type of men, these Eve men. I'm telling you, they're trying to be like the Most High. Okay, so they're going to go against what is nature, what is real. They're going to go against it because they're not. They're from another race, like I just showed you in the other video. That they come from another race, the archons. These are little short lizard demons, and they procreated with a black woman, who, in which the babies come out half reptilian. And when they come out half reptilian, Eve people, then they're going to go against people like Dane Calloway, who is only trying to say, hey, we are indigenous and the government got us fucked up. And we're going to have to do something about it. And then you have the lizard people, the lizard black people that are coming and say, oh no, we from Africa. Yes, you're right. Because the 20 people that came here on those schooner ships, the 20 Africans that came over here, we don't know whether those were we don't know if all of those were lizards. We don't know. We just know that 20 and some odd Africans came over here, and we don't know. We just know that the Moors brought them over here. Who are the Moors? Nothing but Eve men. That's all they are because they procreated with another race, and they dumped their worst of their worst on another country, and they didn't care. That is what you call an Eve man. He's a full reptilian. But and you can see how it is a clear difference right here in this interview here, where you can see how they didn't even let when Sister Bethany when she came in there, they where's his name? I don't Let me see if I could find his name. Uh, it said Candyman on here, and then it was another one. It was Random Thoughts. Was it? But there's two men in here. Well, anyway, it's Sanchez TV, and then Sister Bethany, and then there's another one with the green shirt. They're all God people. You can tell because they are about the truth. And then you have people that will come in and combat that. It's like, why would you do that? We're at war. Why would you go against what's real? Because you would rather for the white man to be on the throne so you can be behind him, just to make sure the black woman won't be on the throne, just to make sure she is just dead. You just want to make sure that black woman is dead. That's the only thing that they think about, to make sure that the black woman is. You just shut up. You in the kitchen. You stay there, and you don't create the promised land. You know, let the white man do it because the black man gets paid off of the white man. For instance, there is not one black civil rights attorney who ever came against the government and said, "Hey, why would you give 400? Why would you give a $500,000 to some Mexicans when they are not even from here? Why would you do that? How come not one black civil rights attorney who knows that they are who knows that they're indigenous to this country? How come they never filed a class action lawsuit against the Senate to say, hey, why would you give them a $500,000 and not us? Why would you do that? Because all of the civil rights attorneys or black police officers, black civil rights attorneys, they're all Eve men. They want to make sure the white man is in office to make sure that they get paid off of our misery, to make sure the black woman is not on that throne. That is the main thing. And they would, that's why what he said, F Chata to, well, not to her, but he was just saying, F Chata Nation. You better pay attention to, Amistad, bitch, please. I met her. It didn't happen. Okay? I met her. It did not happen. It's a story. 20 and some odd Africans did come here. And they were all probably reptilians. And you're and see the people that go against Dane Calloway is mixed in that. That's why they disagree with Dane Calloway. Even that old man, Judge Joe Brown, he he was literally, I mean, he was seriously hostile. Like, why would you be hostile? Like, why would you be hostile to Dane Calloway? He's trying to tell you to save your life. This is your land. Why would you be against that? Because, because you're a lizard. You're a lizard.
With all this secret deal, these secret. What's that
That's
checker floor
Candyman.
for?
He's talking.
Man,
That's
forget
that's
that checker floor. You can't even have a discussion about the Supreme Court, but you're trying to figure out what that checker floor means. That's what's wrong with my people. If anything, you're sitting here trying to tell somebody you know the secret behind something when you can't even speak on something what we see outright. We see stuff outright, and you can't even explain that. But you're trying to figure out what the checkerboard floor is, and then just because he don't know, he got to be hiding something. That nigga's a drunk.
But see,
Like, stop giving people more credit than they deserve.
But see, Daz, here's the
I
problem.
agree with it.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Your rage and your anger is keeping you from seeing the answers that he was given. And you laughing it off. It's not funny. The answer, okay.
Sister has a point though, brother.
He gave.
But I'm not afraid. I'm just dumb.
Look,
Dumb
listen.
people can't tell me.
Hold up, y'all.
No.
Hold on. This what we're gonna do. Hold on, everybody, listen to me right quick. Sister Betty, I'm about to give you the mic back, but check this out, y'all. When you speak, right, don't even address Taz's reactions or his demeanor or whatever. He always liked that. He can say that the brother just passionate, right? Just for the sake of keeping the conflict down, because he's gonna respond the moment y'all do that, off just natural instinct. You know what I'm saying? So let's just stay with the arguments. Go ahead, Sister Betty.
I got you, bro Sanchez. Okay, I'm sorry. Taz, listen. You said Judge Joe Brown was stupid. Listen to me. This man is an appointed judge. He's retired. To you, he's a drunk. Okay, I understand that. But understand this. That's a very highly intelligent man. Okay? He's not dumb. He wouldn't have been in the positions that he held for so long. And again, I say this to you. I say this to you, and I need you to understand this, brother. That man gave me every answer that I needed to move to the next level that I need to go to. Now, if you set aside how you feel about him and the way you perceive him, you and open your eyes and just listen, you will get the answers. He gave them to you. Let me give you a prime example. He switched up what the government actually did to us. And I'm going to show you. Listen to this. Judge Joe Brown switched up what the government did to us. He reversed it on them, and that's how you get your answer. Now listen to this. He said, I'm Choctaw, my mother's Choctaw, my grandmother's Choctaw, and my great-grandmother's Choctaw. But I'm mostly African. You got your answer.
That was crazy right there. That don't
You got
even
your
make no
answer.
sense. Good.
Now, I'm sorry, Brother Sanchez.
No, I was just agreeing with you. My bad. You got it.
Now listen to this, Taz. But I'm mostly like 128, 4%, African. So, but I'm more African because my mother's Choctaw, my grandma's Choctaw, my great grandma's Choctaw, And guess what? I'm a fucking judge. I'm giving you the answer. But I'm mostly, African. The so-called. He didn't say five federally recognized tribes. The so-called. He gave me every answer I needed to move. I have my ammunition tags. But you gotta open your eyes now. I relinquish my mind.
Right. So again, like I'm just not interested in Judge Joe Brown lineage. I could care less. I care more about the fact that y'all sitting here misrepresenting history when it comes to cases like the Amistad, but then you'll point to the same Supreme Court to try to validate your own cases. I care more about that. Fuck Judge Joe Brown, fuck his grandmother and Choctaw and all of that. That's some shit that y'all use on the internet to try to spin people and shit. I'm talking about how you just took a Supreme Court case and tried to undermine that, only to double back and use that same Library of Congress, Supreme Court, and National Archives for your own benefit. These arguments about spinning my people, about where you're from and who you are, do not help them today. Where we're moving at today. There's no personal gain for anyone. So I watch y'all do it. I understand how y'all do it. I understand why y'all doing this shit. It's a lot of family in there and whatnot. But again, it's not getting us anywhere. So I'm just watching. Like I said, I only cared about the fact that the Amistad history was undermined. If y'all want to argue about who's this and who's that, I'm fine with that. I don't get into that. I'm more concerned with undermining parts of history that are documented.
Okay, so
Okay, now he said, did you hear what he said? Now, what he just said was probably, maybe the most dumbest shit I've ever heard. What is this man? The Candy Man. He is absolutely from Eve, because when he said things that are documented, we have to talk about, we got to talk about court case documentation where your great great grandparents is in court, okay, where the senator commissioner explains to your great grandparents how they removed us from our lands. And when they removed us from our lands, it automatically granted us the 640 acres to each black person. But he says we have to go on some Amistad bullshit. Bitch, it never happened. It's fiction. So why would you even veer us off there when we already got our references right here? We got our papers. When you say, talk about evidence, it's right here. The commissioner said it. He said, we removed we removed all the Negroes. He said all Negroes from the whole United States, from South America to, we removed you. We removed you up from Canada. And where dead black people's bones, children black bones, is in Canada, because they pushed us up, removed us from our homes down in Florida, where we own half of Florida, where your great grandparents is, it being asked the questions from the white senator that's not from this land, that's not from this country. Well, they're asking, and so our great grandparents is saying what's going on. Why would he veer off from that? You have to start right there. Don't go nowhere, no Amistad, bitch. If they put that on television about an Amistad, and they put it on television, okay, well then why don't you pursue it? But you don't go and say to nobody else that I can't believe none of y'all is on the Amistad. What Amistad? Bitch, we got papers right here to move forward. How come you didn't get a class action lawsuit started with an attorney? Why you didn't get a hold of an attorney to make this public class action lawsuit? Why are you talking about Amistad? Did you get an attorney to make this a public class action lawsuit? Did you? But if the Amistad is so important to you and you got recommendations, how come you didn't get an attorney then? Okay, well, how come if you got that attorney, then how come that attorney didn't make it publicly known? Right? Okay, so all this whole time, you're talking about something from Amistad. That's from somebody coming from another country. So what you're saying is that we don't come from here. We come from another country because Amistad is about Sinke. He's coming from Paris, France and Paris and Portugal. That's from across the seas. See, why are you veering us off over there when we have the papers right here? That, and see, that's because this one here, this one and another one, I think it's random thoughts. They're all from Eve. They're all from Eve because he's veering you off. It's always like that. The Black Panthers was infiltrated. Oh my God. The Black Panthers was infiltrated. They were definitely infiltrated. Hell, Martin Luther King's whole family was shot up. I mean, his brother was drowned, and his Martin Luther King's mother was shot in the face while she was in church, was killed on the spot because she was infiltrated. By who? By black men that veer you off from what the truth is. Because Martin Luther King said that we're exiled in our own land. His mother, after Martin Luther King was assassinated, his mother was trying to go to the Black Panthers. And when they heard about that, because they're infiltrated, we're infiltrated. See, you can't even talk amongst your own people because they'll go back and tell because there's lizards among you. With the slick tongue I just showed you, the man got a tongue, a lizard tongue. There's an interview, I'll never forget it. Bobby Hemmett had an interview. He had an interview. And he was with Brother Panic. And there was a caller that came in and he said, what is it when another tongue is underneath your other tongue and it comes out like that? They look like because it feels like I got another tongue. I got another tongue that comes out. And Bobby Hemmett didn't know that he was a lizard. He said, well, we getting our powers. We getting our powers back. See, that's what's going on. You know, we getting our powers and stuff. And, you know, you got some abilities that you didn't know you had. See, Bobby Hemmett didn't know that that was a lizard boy talking. And he was a black man. And real dark, too. Because you could tell, I mean, the way he was talking. I'm a dark-skinned brother, and, you know, and I don't know what that means when you got another tongue. See, that was a lizard that called in. Because, and so anyway, I'm just saying that there's lizard people around. Well, the lizard people is with a forked tongue. They'll move you from wherever, they'll discourage you from who you really are. That's who created the Bible. But there's truth in that Bible. A lot of truth is in that Bible if you know how to really look for it. I'm not saying to be religious because I'm not religious by any means. I mean, my father, we couldn't even talk about, you know, Jesus Christ or anything. We couldn't have no Bible in our house. Or, oh my God, my father would have a fit. Okay, so, because he was like, I'm the one that brings the food on the table. I wish a white man hanging on a fucking pole with a goddamn diaper on would tell me I gotta worship to some other white cracker with a diaper on and shit. The fuck? That's how my father was. He was like James Evans from Good Times and with the flared nose and everything. Anyway, he was an atheist. Okay, he didn't believe me, and neither do I. I'm open-minded to all things of what's going on. I'm just a realist. I'm a realist. Basically, I'm what's real. Okay, I'm the creator of the promised land. I'm here to take you out of this matrix. Now, there's people that will be infiltrating to stop that from happening. Good. That means you go over there to the government, which I need you to do. You know, because if you show yourself to me, I'm gonna let you know right now. You're okay. You're right. Yeah, just go on to the government and you're fine. Just go on to the government. Okay. But right here, it shows in your rules that you have 640 acres to each black person. That equivalents to you receiving your Jetsons, your brand new RV motorhome coach that I patent. It's a patent. And it'll stay like that as long as you support me. And all you have to do is just support me so we can get the class action lawsuit publicly known that we're not suing, we're just showing you that the promised land is this way. It's this way. Now, while that's happening, I'm here to show you videos to show you the difference between the two men that are on this planet. There are God men where women gave birth to whole God men where they have the wisdom. This man, Bro Sanchez TV, he's got that wisdom. He's one of those God men that can decipher who's evil and who's not, who's an infiltrator and who's not. He can see that. And so, that's just what makes me happy because he can see what I see. I was born to see. I was born to know this information because I'm the creator of the promised land. We have to get the people to the promised land, the right people. Or what's the point in having the promised land? And they say, well, Kathy, you know what? We live in hell right now. We can't be creating no promised land. I don't even know why you even want to create the promised land here on this earth anyway. You know, people like Brother Panic would say some shit like that. This nigga still eating bacon and French fries, but I'm just saying like this. So he's really trying to. He's the one that he's Cipher. He's the one that went back into the Matrix eating steaks and shit and don't give a fuck now because he's super conscious that he's like, ah, fuck it, you know. Bobby's Bobby had to a little bit retire because Bobby had to be silent for a little bit. He had to be silent for a little bit, and then he's gonna go to the promised land and he'll be his solid self again, you know. But this time he'll be flying, things like that, walking through walls and shit. Because the promised land is for you to go from a fourth, third dimension to a fifth, sixth, and seventh dimension. It's for you to evolve. You're supposed to go to your own, drive to your promised land communities and evolve from. You're not supposed to stay in one house. That's crazy. You can't stay in one house, especially what's happening now. You really can't stay in one house. In fact, you're supposed to have many mansions. And that sounds really crazy and religious, but I don't mean to be religious. What I mean by that in many mansions is that I mean like, who told you you're supposed to live in one house? Who told you that? You're not supposed to live in one house or one apartment. You're supposed to live in many different apartments because you have relatives. You have relatives in different community areas. Well, those are tribes that you have to visit. Those are the promised land areas, 7 to 13 of them. And you would travel and you would live in these 13 different areas in each state because my father is from my mother is from Powhatan. Powhatan is Chicago to Pennsylvania, to Baltimore, to Maine. That's Powhatan.
So my thing.
So that's Powhatan. Chata is from Mississippi to Texas all the way to Tennessee. That's all Chata, and they all run nation. That's Chata Creek Nation, Cherokee, all that, right? And so we have both, and we're supposed to travel around the different states. That's what we're supposed to do, and that's where I come in at. So all of this rhetoric about them talking about whatever, they're wasting their time. All of them are, except for Bethany, except for her, and the one in the green, him. I don't know. His name is KNTA. He knows what he's talking about. He's down to the detail of things. But when you see somebody like Candyman and you hear him and he's veering you off somewhere, that's an agent. He comes from Eve and he could never be on the throne. You never want somebody like that on the throne because they'll give it to the white man. They won't, because they hate what the truth is. They don't want you to get the truth because the truth will have them as just the worker as they're supposed to be. And they don't want to be the worker. They want to be like the Most High. They want to sit on the throne. You cannot. Because if then we'll be in the same predicament that we're in. That's why we're in this predicament. That's why the white man is ruling. Because in order for you to get to the black woman, they had to get through you first. And you can see depictions upon depictions of the black woman. Here's National Geographic. This is a white man who puts on gold on his face because he's trying to be like the Most High. He wants to put on a mask. But you can see he's clearly white. Look at his lips. Okay, so he puts on the mask like, ooh, I'm like, no, you're not black. Okay, so that's just back in the ancient days. This is past 1500 years, like in 12 AD. They're trying to be like the Most High, black people. Okay, so here is old depiction of black women. See? Old depiction of black women. Okay? Giving birth to, and then, the white people came over. They came in. Do you see this? Look at this. This is a head of a calf. They cut off the calf's head. They cut off many cows. What color is this man? He's a Chinese Mexican man who created the white race and the Eve man. See, why would you cut off this bull's head? Why would you do that? We didn't do that. See, the black woman don't have this bull head on. We don't do this. We would never cut this bull's head off. Never. Never. We didn't even eat meat. It wasn't even like that. It wasn't even that serious. For us to cut off a bull head like that. And look at who had, you know what I'm saying? These are white Mexican people that took over the black woman. And you can see how they had to kill the lion first. See? These people took over. They ravaged the land and they took over. We're talking about Arabs over there in the east, over there in Israel. They took over. See? And it's just showing you how they now selling the seas and, you know, because, let me see, because it shows you here how they actually took over the land. See, they just basically took it over. The discovery, the Bronze Age. You see the Bronze Age? Where it says the Bronze Age. Now, when that happened, they were putting their face trying to be like the Most High. It was nothing but black people at first, but then they came and they stole the land, and they're saying that this is heaven on earth. See, right here, the discovery. They discovered this land and they took over. These people did, and they took over our lands. See that? And see what had happened was we were being taken over. Black man, Moors, went in with the white man who was the Eve. All of them was reptilians, all of them. So if they put 20 Africans on schooner ships and sent it here, then those were Eve people. And they procreated with the women here. That's where you get that thing called we will make man in our own image. I just showed you that History Channel thing. Let's make man in our own image. Who said let's make man in our own image? The Eve people that would distort the black woman, because the first thing they do is they'll try to kill the black woman. But before you got to do that, you have to get to the black man. The God man that protects the black woman was being murdered by the snake Eve man that we see today. See, we see it today. Judge Joe Brown went in on Dan